Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop a little early this week. And, man, I just don't feel like putting in the effort today. One of those days. But I will. Why? Out of sheer habit. See that? Make your habits work for you and not against you. I got 6 comics and this ad. Neon Joe, Werewolf Hunter, DC. I don't know what the heck this is for. Coming May 22nd, 26th, the Adult Swim. So it's just a freebie comic. You know what? I think I got the first one. I don't even remember. I probably tossed it. Or at least tossed it in my to-be-gotten-rid-of bin. I don't think I actually tossed things for a while. No idea where it is. The first one wasn't even memorable, but what the heck, it was free, and I'll give it a look. And here we go with Cerebus in Hell, number 4. I think I just got number 3 2 weeks ago, so this seems to be coming out pretty fast. They got the right price on it this time, $4. What's he saying there? Of course, if Cerebus had been written by George R.R. Martin, Cerebus would be a lot wealthier. On the other hand, Cerebus would still be waiting for his script for Going Home. So Cerebus wouldn't even know that Jocko was coming back. Or that it would end as badly as it did and that Cerebus would never see her again. This place is a million laughs. Oh, I see. That's the Game of Thrones throne. I have never actually watched Game of Thrones, so, oh well. But Cerebus in Hell has been excellent. Comic strips, mashing up Cerebus and old woodcuts and prints of other kinds. As I've said before, I was a little wary of the whole concept of this at first, but it's really, really good. It's genuinely funny, entertaining stuff. Next, we have the Invincible. What number is this? 136. The End of All Things, Part 4 of 12. It is hard to believe Invincible's coming to an end. But it is. We've got parts 5 through 12 after this are all that's left. And this one, there's a big war coming up beginning between Invincible and his allies, a cosmic type war between Invincible and his allies. And the Viltrumite Empire, who was all these Superman-level guys. And at the end of last issue, they were having a direct attack on the head Viltrumite and his the planet he just made his home. So, being this is part 4, I have to imagine that attack is not going to be successful. But I think it's part of a bigger plan somehow, and I have no idea what that plan is, so I'll have to read the issue and find out. Next one we have is The Wicked and Divine. Oh, this is a one-shot. The name of it is 455 AD, so I guess we're in the Roman Empire, it looks like here. And it's got a different artist on it. Let's see, what's this person's name? Arujo. Got me. That's the nearest I'm going to get. Well, this is just a story of another time the gods came back. They did another one of these with like 1755 or something like that. I don't remember what the year was. I think it was the 18th century, but I'm not positive. But I enjoyed the other one-shot. Probably, I think they do these one-shots when they go on hiatus. So, what the heck? I'm always up for another Wicked and Divine issue, even if it's not the main storyline. I'll as a fan of history, I'm okay with going back into the past and looking at a historical event with these returning god characters. And here we go with Birthright, issue number 24. After 24 issues, our hero/maybe villain is reunited with his pregnant wife, who's got wings, who's about to give birth. This is a fantasy story between Earth and a magical world, and a war in the magical world has spilled over into Earth. This guy here was the chosen one. I'm glad they never call him that, and he's not actually... I've just had it with stories about the chosen one, whoever that happens to be, and this really isn't a chosen one story, which makes me keep reading it because, oh my goodness, Birthright is really good. I'm going to go into a rant just for a minute on chosen one stories, only because I'm tired of prophecy being the driver of a plot. I was tired of that a long time ago, and I'm still tired of it, but luckily prophecy isn't driving the plot here. What's driving the plot is this guy here trying to open up Earth to the magical world. So always good double-page spreads and stuff in here. trying to open up. He was supposed to be the hero, but he got corrupted by like a demon of some kind, and now he's trying to open the Earth to the magical world so the head bad guy can come through and conquer Earth too. But that's what's been going on for 24 issues here, so it'll probably keep going on. Next, we have Britannia, We Who Are About to Die, issue number 2. I'm glad they had a shelf copy of this, because I never quite got around to putting it on my pull list. I'll put the next 2 issues on my pull list, so I was glad I was able to pick this up off the shelf, because I liked the first series, I liked the first issue of the second series, which I didn't know was coming out, so it wasn't on my pull list. And this whole... it's about the detective story set in ancient Rome, even though it's named Britannia because the first series took place in Britain. This one's taking place in Rome. I guess they didn't want to change the title to Romagna, or whatever ancient Rome would be in ancient Rome's language. But it's good stuff. Juan Jose Rip is the artist, right? And Peter Milligan's the writer. I first saw Juan Jose Rip on Clone. That was a decent series. I enjoyed that one. But like I said, Britannia's been good too. It's a 4-issue mini. It's on this nice heavy stock paper, which always makes me happy. Some highly illustrated bubbles strategically placed. I think that's the Emperor Nero, the crazy one. But anyway, Britannia's been a good book. If you're looking for something interesting to buy that's unrelated to any comic book universe, it's kind of its own little thing, pick up Britannia. And the final thing I got this week is the special 25th anniversary edition director's cut of Spawn. I'm not a Todd McFarlane fan, I'm not a Spawn fan, but I'm a fan of the process. And I read what this is, this is all about. It's got the pencils. It's got the pencils to Spawn in it, and the original artwork we've got here. And I guess he's going through, there we go. He's going through what he was thinking at the time. He was thinking Frank Miller right there. No need to tell me that. And I just thought it was an interesting idea. And, I buy those artist editions because I like the, though I haven't bought one in a while, I like seeing the original art, and I like seeing the inside scoop on things. And this was only $5 rather than $125. So I figured I'd give it a read. There's the back cover. Spawn, director's cut. Neat stuff. You know what? Even if I'm not a huge fan of the character or the creator, I'm a huge fan of showing me how it's all made. So it'll be good to me. Now I'll show you my background art, which I call random stuff I found in a drawer. This stuff is old, too, because the corners are... It must have been out in the sun, because usually the corners of the paper don't brown that much. And I think it was sticking out of an open drawer in the sun. And this is just an old page. I guess it's an abandoned one for a little gray in the back, too, for my Delia Charm story from the self-published book I did in the late 90s. And boy, I made her tall and distorted in that panel as we're looking up at her. I must not have liked that and gone with a different page. I have no idea. Was it page 46? Just a random abandoned page, unfinished. And then this is something I always did when I got new stuff. Whether it's markers or this is with ink. I would always make up a, there's Higgins calligraphy ink, the waterproof black. Higgins engrossing, the waterproof. Higgins black magic. So Pelican 401, brilliant black. Higgins T100 was my favorite ink. They don't make it anymore. Design Higgins black. So I just grab a brush, grab a pen, dip it in the ink. Doesn't flow well. Less flowing. Thin flowing. I guess that's with a pen. Smooth flowing. Smooth medium. So this way I would, make a little swatch, write it up my impressions, and then I could figure out which ink I wanted to use for which thing I was doing. But that's just a little tip for any of you would-be artists out there. Whenever you get some new tools or whatever, make a swatch up of them. Whether it's a swatch of marker colors or of black inks. Just So you have an idea. You figure it out once, you don't have to figure it out each time. Okay then. You guys all have a good week out there.